Hi and welcome back everyone. In today's video we're going to be making a pepper sauce. This is a fermentation I've been doing since August of last year, so August 2017. It is now May 2018. So it's been 10 months since I started this fermentation and it looks pretty healthy. There's a little bit of growth on the top but nothing bad. So we'll remove that. That's just the just on the surface level here. We'll remove that and we should be able to make a very nice sauce. So this is one that I did with 7-pot Brainstrain Yellows. Those are really hot peppers. I also added some pears and some onions. So the pears are from my garden, and of course the peppers, I grew them as well. So let's open this up. I haven't opened it up since August last year, and let's see what it smells like and what it looks like. You can see inside there's a bit of growth on the top, but like I said, we can remove that and this will be a perfectly fine sauce. It smells really good, very hot, very peppery. So let's get rid of that stuff on the top and we'll be able to make this into some lovely sauce. So you want to remove this without mixing it into the brine, and this is one of the benefits of having slices of onion on the top to create that separation. This is why we're so careful when we are making a fermented hot sauce or any sort of fermentation. You can see below the water level or the brine level, that all looks fine. It's perfectly clean inside there. There's none of the growth that you see over here. This looks pretty manky, but none of that growth is sitting underneath that water level. And that's why you want to try and keep everything below that water level or reduce the amount of available oxygen, etc., for these sort of things to grow. So we're going to put that aside. I'm not going to use this fork again with this because I don't want to reintroduce any bad bacteria. That looks perfect, and this is going to make an amazing hot sauce. I'm very interested to see how it's going to taste. The next step we need to do here is to remove the brine. Some people like to keep the brine and add it into the sauce. I'm not making that kind of sauce this time, so I'm going to put it aside and we're going to filter it through. So this has some serious spice to it and it's making me cough quite a bit. So the next thing we need to do here is we're going to be adding this into the blender and we're going to blend it up. So bear in mind, I have cleaned everything out thoroughly. This has been cleaned and sanitized. You want to make sure everything is as clean as it possibly can be. Oh, that lovely rich yellow color there. Fermenting does remove some of the color, or it changes the color a little bit. So this, if you remember when I picked these, they were bright yellow and they've gone a lot darker. So let's have a look inside there. You can see it looks a bit like baby food, really. I think we can blend that for just a little bit longer and make it a bit smoother. I think we've got it to the consistency we wanted at. There we go, that's going to be a lovely sauce. Now all there is to it is to bottle. And again, I have cleaned these, sterilized them, boiled them. They are nice and clean. I did the lids as well. I think it's time for me to taste this. I know it's going to be hot because these 7-pot yellows are really hot peppers. There's a little bit on the side here. That is hot. But really good flavor. It's kept the flavor of the 7-pot yellow. It's mellowed it out a little bit, but that's a really good hot sauce. So one thing I will say, the pear flavor hasn't really come through very much. I think maybe it's a bit of a subtle flavor, and the peppers themselves are so strong flavored and also very hot, and they overpower the subtle flavors of the pear. So I'm not really getting a lot of the pear flavor, and I'm definitely not getting any sweetness. It has been fermenting for 10 months. So what happens during fermentation is the sugars inside the fruit or the vegetables will get eaten up by the lactobacillus, the bacteria that's doing the fermentation. So maybe I'll try pears again in a future video with peppers that aren't as hot, and we'll see how that goes. But all I'm tasting here is the 7-pot. So if you remember the earlier extremely hot sauce video that I made, I think there's a link up here with the 7-pot yellow. The flavors are very similar. This is just a bit more matured and subtle. But yeah, definitely not getting much of the pear. One thing I will point out is I'm using these SteriLocks, these for doing the airlock, and I'm not 100% sure about them. I think I might just go back to my traditional airlocks that I use for my brewing beers. This one I think seems to let in air. If you look inside there, there really shouldn't be any growth the way that I make my sauces. There really shouldn't be any on the top. I have a couple other fermentations. I'm doing a video in the future just to talk about what happens during fermentation and how to keep safe during fermentation. I've got a couple examples of fermentations that have gone very badly wrong, and both of them are using these SteriLocks. So maybe they're just not meant for long-term fermentation, but I'm not very happy with them. I think in future I'll just stick with my normal airlock bubbler, which has always done the job and never had problems with it. So I'm going to bottle up the rest of these, and we'll have some hot sauce to keep us going until the end of the season, where we're going to have some more fresh peppers. I've already got them started out in the garden and they're looking good so far. Going to have some amazing peppers, and I've got some amazing sauces to show you guys. I've been experimenting over the winter, and there's about 3 or 4 sauces that I think you guys are going to love. Some of them are replicas of existing sauces, and some of them are my own concoction. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do, and you'll get alerted next time I release a video. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. Bye bye for now.